Hi, welcome to Risen OC.
Let's go! You in your car, you at the house, on your job, be encouraged, boo. Come on!
So, Good Friday, Easter Sunday. Is it just an extra day off from work and school? A time filled with heaps of Easter eggs? Or something more meaningful and deeper? This is what some of our youth have to say about what Easter means to them in the past.
Yeah, to me Easter was, when I was young, Easter was more like searching for the Easter egg. Because I used to have games where I hide the Easter eggs and the teacher would hide the Easter eggs and I was supposed to search for it.
Oh, Easter was like Christmas, like another holiday. Then you get presents and eggs and there were Easter bunnies.
Yeah, it was just like a holiday for me also. You know, just time to relax with my friends, go out, go off the road, stuff like that.
It's like an extra day, like Good Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday, right? So it's like a long weekend for you to like catch up on all your homework and do the rest of your stuff. And to me, Easter was just a happy event, or just like a special Sunday where you come to church and everybody's happy, and you know that okay, Jesus has risen and da 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 da. But I didn't really feel as in what's really Easter about. And
Easter used to be like bunnies jumping around with colourful eggs, and a time for a lot of chocolate as well. There were a lot of cartoons in Easter, and it was of course a holiday for all person.
Easter last time for me was a period where I would have to wait for last year's Easter to this year's Easter, and all that sins I've committed for that one whole year, just wait for Easter to be forgiven, for my sins to be forgiven. And then every year I'll wait for Easter, and then hoping to be sin-free again so I can go and sin again.
Easter in the past was time for fun and games.
It used to be all fun, and we would just go for the sleepovers and like the fellowship with the friends. We wouldn't really think about God and stuff.
Basically, I only remember 2 Easters. I mean, the first one, the last year and the previous year before that. The previous year was the one, I think, where we were supposed to come and dressed up and everything. And they played the YA song. That's the Easter. And the second one was the one with the sleepover. And yeah, that's like what I remember about Easter.
Okay, Easter was an absolute nothing actually. It didn't really mean anything to me. Okay, Good Friday was like, oh, holiday, then it's just an additional Sunday thing, and then used to be some Easter, all the celebrations, when we were in Sunday school, all the Easter eggs that we get, the chocolates. I hate chocolate, so I didn't really like it. So that was how it was like.
Kind of went by like a blur. I don't remember much of it. It was just Good Friday, and then you get a long weekend. You get a long weekend, and then you go to church on Easter Sunday, and it's just celebrations. Everybody is joyous because Jesus has risen from the dead. It's just like a one-day thing.
And over the years, this is how Easter has changed.
What has changed now is that I think because we are more mature, so Easter seems more significant in our lives because it shows us that we are worshipping a God that's alive and our God's not dead. So we can identify with Him and He can identify with our problems. And God doesn't exist only in print like in the Bible, but He's omnipresent in our lives.
It has a much deeper meaning as you go older. For me, it's to celebrate God, Jesus' death and rebirth. He did it out of love, and it's far more emotional and far more meaningful now.
Well, Easter for me is kind of like a new beginning right now. It's time to reflect on what you did wrong last time, and basically a chance to renew your relationship with God.
Easter is like, over the years as you grow older, then your relationship with God becomes more intimate, right? So you learn to appreciate Jesus more. So it's like Easter is a whole new meaning because He died for you, then He rose again and stuff like that. Yeah.
But now it's more like the relationship between me and God, and how grateful I am to Him and how He helps me every day yeah, I'm able to still continue breathing at this time is already a miracle in itself. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that like this Easter will be even better than the last two, and like even more God-centered. And it won't just be about like us having fun all the time, but more of how we can better relate to God.
Easter has become more important to me. As over years, we know the meaning behind it, and it's not just chocolates and bunnies, but it's also about God.
I guess after getting to know God, after many of the Easter events, it's suddenly Easter became something that has meaning, and it's the gist, is the basis of our salvation, is the basis of our faith, and it is D-Day, it's kind of like if no Easter equals to our faith is zero. So it means a lot to me now.
I think it's a very good time that people come to know Him, and for me it's different now because it's important to me, and I know why exactly it's important.
And it seems like every year the church talks about Easter in a different way, and so each year brings about new perspectives, and as I get to know God more, it has a much deeper meaning for me, especially a whole period leading up from Palm Sunday, and then you have Good Friday and Saturday, and then Easter. It's a whole thing, and there's really so much meaning in it that I see now.
Now I know that He did it out of love, so Easter reminds me of God's love for us.
Basically, the idea for the musical, we started out with a very artsy-fartsy idea. We wanted these, 5 characters, undisclosed space sort of like thing, and that we felt that okay, so we started with that, and then we went on to thinking about what these 5 characters were doing in this space, and basically we thought, well, okay, maybe they should be related in some way by some kind of a similar trait. So for example, it's like maybe they all have the same problem, or they all have something. How that came about, then basically we decided, okay, these 5 people should be struggling with letting go of something, which led to letting go of things like grief, things like hurt, things that you hold on to, baggage that you shouldn't be having. And then somebody came up with a crazy idea of, how about 5 siblings? Then 5 siblings became what you saw on stage just now, and that is how the whole idea of the 5 of them came along. Each character was thought through, and we felt that they should symbolize some kind of a Bible character, biblical character. So for example, since it's Easter, right, and since it is basically, this whole story is supposed to be an allegory, something that parallels what you see in the Bible as Jesus' death and crucifixion. We were playing with that, and we're playing with the idea of the in-between. Because we look at Easter in 3 different parts. Most of us only see the 2, Good Friday, Easter Sunday. But what happens on that Saturday in between? So the whole focus of this is for the in-between. Which is why these 5 characters actually have some kind of a biblical character as their parallel. For example, Tristan would be Pilate, because he doesn't want to condemn his father for dying, but he does blame him, right? And then we have the Martha figure, like Mary and Martha, and that is in Jacinth. And we also have the most direct one, which is Judas. Judas being Judas is Jasper. So basically, we have parallels like this, and that's how the idea came about, essentially. So that's what how the 5 characters were envisioned. We put a Christy as well, because Christy basically is like Thomas the daughter. She doesn't believe that her father is dead. And Ada's the saving grace. Even though she's young, she's the youngest. She's the one that really embodies God's love and really is that saving grace in the entire family. Yeah. So that's how basically the musical sort of took shape. Yeah.
About the nightlight thing, we wanted the nightlight to represent the light. Like all of us are the light for God, and yeah, basically, although God is not physically here and stuff, we are the light of the world. I mean, it says in the Bible, and the Father actually sort of represents Jesus because he died on Good Friday, and the in between, like she said, the in between on Saturday, what happens, and when Jesus died, I think everybody was lost and they don't know how to deal with it. So basically, these 5 characters are going through the feeling of they need to handle the emotions of why did they lose their father, and how there's so many questions running through their minds. And yeah, basically we just wanted them to just portray the different emotions that different people have. And although it's the same loss, it's a loss of a father, but different people handle it differently, and different people see it in a different view, in a different light of things. And at the end of it all, they have to learn to let go of all their emotions and just let God take control of it all. Yeah, I think that's basically it.
I think at the end of the day, you need to realize that essentially it's letting go and letting God. Right?
Easter is
miraculous.
Yeah!
With faith like a child.